Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the live US session. Is interest week because we're gonna see after last week with all the major news like CPI data, FOMC meeting, we had some upside on indices. Welcome to the and we saw the dollar going lower. So I'm gonna share the screen and see how is the plan of this week. So let's start with the major news, which this week we are see there is not much going on. So we have Wednesday, tomorrow, Chair Powell is gonna talk, and we don't have much about US news. So because we saw last week we had a lot of news, so I always start with the what's gonna affect the market about the news. So let's see the chart what we are seeing now. So I'm gonna start with the indices because we said last week we wanna have some shallow retracement, but we didn't, and we might see this week, hopefully, because I want to be a buyer on indices again. So I'm looking for S&P 500 retracement. I would love to be a buyer at this level here, 4,340, but I don't know if the price is gonna retrace until there. So first option is gonna be here. Second option, if I see bullish price action, I'll show you what I can see. So if we bring down 4-hour time frame, we see this uptrend nicely forming. So let's see after today, if this doesn't break, I will be a buyer on indices again at this level. If this 4-hour trend is going to break, I would like to be on the seller short term until this 4,300 level to set up myself to be a buyer again. Also, there is on the way I think so, the weekly pivot, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Let's put the weekly pivot. Yeah, it's banging on the weekly pivot at the moment, the price action. Let's drop down 1 hour time frame. So let's see if price is gonna break below. I will be happy to sell. If price is gonna stay above this 4,440, I'll set up myself to be a buyer. So two options for indices, still bullish, but short term I would like some retracement. Same things on Nasdaq. Let me clear the daily pivot. Nasdaq daily time frame, we see this nice uptrend. We might see some pullback like this one, or we might see some pullback until this trend line. I would like to have this pullback nicely to have more reward to risk to be in the upside. But let's watch the price action if the buyer stepping in again this week. So still bullish on indices as well. Nasdaq as well is on top of the list to be on the long side. Also as well, Dow Jones is looking bullish, is breaking the channel now and is stay above. So we see this uptrend forming. Let's see if it's gonna come back on top of the channel or at this level 34,200 to be on the long side again. So all the indices are looking bullish, and we're just waiting for the right price action to be on the long side. Moving on dollar, we talked about last week, we wanna still be a buyer on dollar if stay above 103. Actually, it didn't, and it started to break lower, and now is reaching at this level 102 level, which previously it was ranging and then went up, ranging and went up again. We might see some pullback, because if it's gonna change a trend, we might see some pullback. So phase 2 on dollar, or we're gonna break lower. For me, I think so we're gonna have some upside on dollar again, and I'll see how price is gonna react at this level, because I show you now the other currency. I'm shorting at the moment New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and I'll explain you why later on. So I'm gonna analyze all the currency now, and then at the end I'm gonna show you why I'm shorting the Kiwi dollar. So let's start with Aussie dollar. Now is after this ranging market, price try to break lower, but this we call false breakout, and start to shut out again. Now, of course, there is no trend at the moment, because we have just one big phase, and now price is start to retrace, but it's look like it's gonna come again inside this range, which is start to break already, because the level is 68 and now is below 68. So, and the ID line is showing some weakness as well, is pointing down, so we might see some downside on Aussie dollar. Is not on my list to short, because Kiwi dollar for me is still on the trend, and I follow the trend. So, but if we drop down time frame, we can see 1 hour is already change of trend, and after this break, nice retest, and now is start to go lower. I might trade if tomorrow is still on this range, and I will target on the bottom of the channel is 65.80. So if you can see some development nice cycle, I will be shorting the dollar, the Aussie dollar, short term. Euro dollar as well, same things. Is we see this big phase, and now after Thursday we see this exhaustion bar, and now price is heading at this resistance level, and it look like it want to see some retracement. So it will be nice to see some pullback of dollar on euro dollar to set up again to be on the long side, or otherwise second option, if dollar start to break the 102, I'll be happy to be a buyer on the euro up. Pound dollar is breaking the channel at the moment, and it's look nicely to be on the long side if dollar is gonna weaken. So this is my area where I'll check the price action to be on the long side if I'll see the right price action. So after break this channel here, this nice phase 1, I want to see some pullback, this 126.50 to be on the long side. Otherwise, I'm not gonna trade short the pound, because the is on uptrend, because as you can see is change of trend, phase 1 and phase 2. Moving on dollar CAD, we clearly see is direction is going down, but at the moment we still don't have trend confirmation because we have this big face. So I would like to see some retracement, and if I see some bearish price action reacting at this level 133.40, I will be on the short side of dollar CAD as well. But as I said, short term for me is still, I want to be a buyer of dollar. Dollar yen is the best what we saw last week to trade on the upside, because we see this one a nice breakthrough. So I would like to see some shadow retracement until this level here, go again with this trend line to be on the long side. I'll get the right price action. So let's see 4 hour time frame, still uptrend, 1 hour time frame. So if prices start to come like this, 139.80 is gonna be my target to be on the long side. Okay, let's analyze New Zealand, US. So first of all, daily time frame can see is on downtrend. I will explain why. So when this happening is confirm the first lower high, and this is lower low. When the price went down, confirm another lower low, and price went up is another lower high. So when this happen, is confirm the lower high, price is start to reject again. So this is the firm confirmation of why I want to be on the short side, because I'm still on downtrend and rejecting the resistance level. So 4 hour, as you can see, was on upside. But now, if you see, if we draw the trend line, the trend is changing. So that's another confirmation. The price now is going on the direction of daily time frame. So let's drop down 1 hour time frame, is more clear. And yesterday I show you why I enter on the trade. So when I see this one, price, it didn't make any higher point, but start to get lower point. And we saw this breakout here. This we call 1, 2, 3 pattern. So I set the trade below this lower point, and now I'm on profit. I will show you where on my broker platform, which is TradingView, but because it is, I show you open position. So I have this position. Yeah, this is my entry point here. So a breakout, and now I'm on profit at the moment. So I already put myself on the break even. So for me, now it's just a free trade, because I want to see price is going to react now, because we have some resistance on the way, and I want to see if this trend line is going to break. So if this is going to break, my ultimate target is going to be this 60-50 level. That's it for the currency prospect. Moving on commodities. Let's bring the gold. Everybody now start to talk about gold, long side, short side. So let's analyze together. So for me, gold is still on uptrend, because if we put weekly time frame, we can clearly see is a nice uptrend, because when price is doing this, we have a nice uptrend. Plus this trend line, it didn't break, and this support line, it didn't break. First of all, so we have uptrend on weekly. Let's drop down daily time frame. So daily doesn't look a trend, because after reaching the 2080 level, price start to get lower, but this doesn't matter much. Price now is ranging around this level here, and find support a couple of times at this level, 1940. So I want to see until price action doesn't break above the 1980. I'm not considered to buy gold, but I will look to short also if start to go lower this 1940, because we might see some change of trend. But seasonally, gold, the commodities on summertime are gonna be bullish, so I will remain bullish if I see some price action develop above this 1980. Moving on silver. Silver as well is look a bit choppy, and we saw last week we want to be on the short side, and price action is bearish at the moment. Like we saw last week was this is a bullish price action. Yes, we have a reversal bar, and now it's showing another bearish engulfing bar. So it's not clear at the moment what it's gonna do, or we're gonna see some ranging on this level between 2450 and 23, and then we're gonna see some upside. So it's not on top of my list to be on the short or long side at the moment, because it's not clear. Moving on oil as well is very choppy price action and not clear direction. So for me is not tradable, and you can see is just choppy like this, and for me it's not even worth to analyze the oil market. So for me just short term will be shadow retracement on indices. Let's see if we're gonna see bearish price action today or tomorrow. Short term phase 2 on dollar, and I show you why I enter on New Zealand US dollar short. I will monitor the trade and manage it accordingly. And yeah, for anything else, just if you like our topics, please subscribe to our channel to support us, and hit the bell icon, because we have always update market and trading live every 2 times a week. So next live trading will be this Thursday, 1:30 p.m. UK time. So until then, I'll see you next live trading. Bye bye.